AP went nuts against us in the last game of the year. Had a pretty good year that year. Obviously, in 16, we made our run and led the league in passing touchdowns. Didn't really get a sniff for some reason that year, but, I definitely felt like I was in the conversation. It's nice to be back in the conversation. Like I said the other day, it's been a good year for State Farm reps. Obviously, the new Jake from State Farm getting a lot of pub with his big muscles and tiny shirts. And, Pat, such a phenomenal player. He's had a great year as well. It'd be something that's usually on the preseason goal list, and it's nice to be in the conversation.
All right. Well, Shannon, do you like how open he was talking about the MVP?
I do not, because contrary to what people think, people set goals at the beginning of the season, be it Super Bowls, MVPs, All-Pro teams, Pro Bowl skip. Guys set that on the list. They want that. Now, very few guys are willing to openly talk about it like Aaron just sat there and had a casual conversation, and he was very relaxed, Skip. If you looked at him, Skip, if you didn't know better, if I didn't see that Green Bay stuff behind him, I thought he was at home having a conversation with some of his boys or talking to someone from it, doing an article about him, an interview with him.
It felt like it was the off-season.
Yeah, he was very casual, very matter-of-fact about, it would mean a lot to me. And it would, because, Skip, he's 6 touchdowns away from his career high. And we don't normally see guys set career highs this late in their career. Now, we see guys might have a career game.
Yep.
And you could have a game here or there. But one year he threw, I think, 45 touchdowns and had 4 picks, 5 picks. And so he's on that pace again with 3 games left. All he needs is 6 touchdowns to tie his career high, 7 to break it. So for me, Skip, he's in that discussion. He was always going to be in that discussion, and that is expected of him, and he mentioned it. There are not very many guys that have won 3, Skip. You got Peyton at 5, and then Brady, Favre, Unitas, and Jim Brown with 3. So to Aaron Rodgers say, to add my name to that list, yes. And he also said that he thinks he should live up to what this stands for as an acronym. A person who is valuable to their team, and I feel like that's why I'm in that conversation every single year, basically. So for me, Skip, I believe it's a 2-man race. Aaron Rodgers has been spectacular. And he talked about some of the reasons why he believed it is. Second year in the system, because Skip Bayless tells me, so I don't want any excuse for why Tom Brady is not playing up to his standard, because Aaron Rodgers had 1 year in the system, and you didn't give him any concessions. You didn't give him any breaks. So I don't want to hear anybody that's thinking about getting a break in the first year of a new system when they've been in another system for their entire career. So with that being said, it's coming down to him and Mahomes. These last 3 games is going to be of utmost importance, because both teams are the number 1 seed. Mahomes is 12-1, 23. So things are close with the exception of touchdown. Rodgers is 6 clear, interceptions 1 apart. Mahomes is 500 yards ahead. But Aaron Rodgers is very comfortable. He feeling real good. Skip, you about to have 2 fingers of old scotch before he got there, tequila. You about to have some tequila. Of that, he about to have 2 fingers of tequila. They relaxed him, but he's playing well. He's playing very well.
So I heard my man across the table take a half step down the right road on this topic, but then you step back and you continue to defend your man, Aaron Rodgers.
What's doing to defend? Ain't nothing to defend, Skip.
This was the classic example of why Aaron Rodgers is not Tom Brady. Tom Brady, no matter what year, this year, 10 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, never in his career would he have taken that bait from the media with 3 games remaining, with home field still hanging in the balance, with only 1 bye per conference this year. Not only did Aaron Rodgers talk about MVP, he embraced it and began to campaign for it, how much it meant, how he got robbed in these other years.
I don't know if he necessarily got robbed, because I thought Peyton had a better year in 2012. That's the year you believe Peyton should have won his first year in Denver with AP won.
Okay, but he's chalking that one up to AP running wild on them in the final game and leaving that last impression in the voters' minds.
AP ran wild on everybody.
Okay. And just for the record, in 2016, Aaron did lead the league in touchdown passes, but Matt Ryan led the league in QBR.
Right.
And you correctly predicted, because you had inside information on the show, you predicted he would win the MVP, and he did. And by the way, Pro Football Focus in 2016 ranked this guy named Brady, who was then up in New England, as having the best grade in pro football. #1 quarterback in performance that year, according to Pro Football Focus, was Tom Brady. So I don't think Aaron has much of an argument about 2016, but he said, I didn't even get a sniff. Didn't even get a sniff of it. Okay. So to me, it is so Aaron, who is the LeBron James of the National Football League, it is so Aaron to kick back and relax and all but campaign for MVP.
Man, they campaigning.
With 3 games remaining. They got Carolina this Saturday at home. Should be able to win that one.
4 touchdowns against them.
Then they got Tennessee. Gets a little tougher, and then they finish at their arch rival as Chicago. And you know, and I know that the Bears will they're going to come to play that day.
Yeah, they will.
So you have potential to lose a couple of these games. And right now you're 10-3, as is New Orleans. New Orleans has a very tough game, obviously, against Kansas City on Sunday. They're home underdogs on Sunday. And by the way, they've played the 15th toughest or easiest schedule remaining. So it's pretty tough for them. I'm sorry, they're the 24th toughest. I got the wrong one. I got them. So New Orleans is up against it. So Green Bay's in the driver's seat, obviously. They should be. The Rams are 9-4. Seattle is 9-4. But
Seattle and the Rams play each other again, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you cannot slip up here.
No.
You cannot take your eyes off the prize and start talking about an individual award. And you started to say that. Your first line out of your mouth was you did not like it that he talked so openly about MVP. Am I right?
Skip,
if he was your quarterback, if it were John Elway and you were a Bronco, you wouldn't love it. You'd honor it because it's John Elway.
I don't know if we've ever had a quarterback that exuded the amount of confidence that he does in his mannerism. Skip, he had a discount double check. He did that. Quarterbacks don't really have celebrations, especially the old school. John ain't have no celebration. Marino and Aikman and Bradshaw, those guys ain't have no celebration. They threw a touchdown, pumped the fist, and go to the sideline.
Favre was more emotional, word on his sleeve.
Right.
But he didn't have a celebration.
They might headbutt the guy or something like that. But now, since they got the camera Skip in the end zone, Aaron Rodgers actually go pose for the camera. Remember, he did it at Crinkleberry in Tampa?
He did.
And he posed, and he is in there with him.
And then what happened?
Skip, I'm not talking about that. I'm just saying. So he's one of the few quarterbacks that has the confidence of a wide receiver or a cornerback or a secondary guy, Skip, that will show you, I'm that guy. I just want you to know I'm that guy. I'm still that guy.
Yep.
And so for me, Skip, look, these guys are different now in the way they do things, and I think we're going to have to be more accepting of the openness and the willingness to talk about things that they want to achieve.
So now you're suddenly reversing field and you're okay with him talking about this?
Skip, that's Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, I mean, look, the thing is that you get an opportunity. I mean, you said they got the Titans, they got Carolina, and they got the Bears. Y'all can derail this MVP campaign. Y'all can derail it. Now, I just saw Drew Lock go 21 of 27 against Carolina for 4 touchdowns. I saw Baker Mayfield throw 4 touchdowns on 20 or 25 against the Titans in the first half. Good luck derailing his campaign. There's a good chance, Skip, at the end of the year, in these last 3 games, he might be 50-4. The guy goes 50-4. I don't know how you give the MVP to anybody else other than him. Even if Mahomes goes 5,040, I don't believe that is enough to overtake 50 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and a #1 seed. And I believe that's what they're going to have. I don't see a scenario, Skip. Now, Tennessee's going to be daunting. But you better buckle up your chin straps because that big kid, Big King Henry, he coming. And if it's cold, it doesn't matter. The colder it is, that means the less likely you are wanting to tackle him. I'm not trying to jump in front of a bus.
Remember, it's very possible he would go Adrian Peterson on you.
Yes, and
right?
you remember what Adrian Peterson did. And the Packers are not that good at stopping the run, Skip. So they got their work cut out for them. But Aaron is having a phenomenal season. And like you said, State Farm is looking real good right now.
They are. He said it's been a good year for the State Farm reps and for the new Jake from State Farm. He's pretty ripped in a tight T-shirt.
Right.
In those two, especially the one where Aaron's throwing it to the dog, the little dog.
Right.
Okay. So I've told you this before, but I compare Aaron to LeBron James because there's been a lot of conjecture even in the last couple of days about why Kyrie left LeBron. And what I was told from a source very close to Kyrie is he just got tired of LeBron's focus on individual achievement versus team. They did come back from 3-1, obviously, to win it. Kyrie hit a big shot. I'll give you that he had a chase down block. LeBron did. But the point was that Kyrie felt it was all about LeBron instead of all about the team. Well, you can argue Kyrie is right out of the same mold.
Thank you.
But okay, so it's, pot calling kettle, right?
Yes. Okay.
So the point is that if I were a teammate of Aaron Rodgers right now, I might think in the back of my mind, as much as I love him, as I'm glad he's my quarterback, man, his focus is all on his individual achievement when we have a goal out there that's attainable.
Skip, I think the thing is he realized that he played unbelievable last year. And the reason why, and even though they were the #1 seed, no one really thought, for a time it was Russ. And then once Lamar Jackson took over about week 8, week 8, week 9, Skip, nobody else was in the discussion because he was having such a transcendent year. We don't normally see a quarterback, well, a lot of people said he was a running back or a wide receiver, lead the league in passing touchdowns and break the quarterback rush record with over 1,200 yards. Lead the league in rushing by a large margin. So unless somebody had a 5,045-yard touchdown season, Lamar Jackson was going to be the MVP. But as he said, as LeBron is in the MVP conversation basically every single year, because Aaron Rodgers is so talented.